There's a reason so many men feel lost today. Not physically weak, not intellectually weak, but spiritually weak. We live in a world that has figured out the most effective way to conquer a man, not by war, not by force, but by pleasure. Because when a man willingly gives up his strength in exchange for a moment of release, he becomes easy to control. He becomes predictable. He becomes a prisoner to his own desires. Dopamine is the new chain around his wrists. Lust is the leash around his neck. So, ask yourself, who controls your mind right now? Is it you? Or is it the endless scroll of pornography, instant gratification, and empty stimulation that leaves your soul hungrier every time? NoFap November isn't just another internet challenge. It's an act of rebellion, a declaration of war against the invisible enemy that keeps you on your knees. Most men will never understand this. They think self-control is suffering. They think discipline is punishment. They think avoiding lust means weakness. But here's the truth. Weakness is giving every part of yourself to a fantasy that gives nothing back. Strength is refusing to bow. When you stop feeding your urges, your mind becomes sharp again. Your masculinity returns to its throne. Your focus becomes lethal. You stop craving female attention, and suddenly, women start noticing you. Why? Because the woman's subconscious can sense a man who is in control of himself. She knows instinctively, if he doesn't even chase pleasure, how could he ever chase me? That's the kind of man she follows. That's the kind of man she respects. That's the kind of man she desires. Not the man who collapses at the slightest temptation, but the man who looks desire in the eye and says, "I control you." This month, NoFap November, it's not about trying to be perfect. It's about choosing to rise every single day. Because every time you win against your urges, your confidence grows, your energy rises, your power returns. Men are not meant to be slaves to lust. Men are meant to be kings of their own minds. And a king doesn't bow to his impulses bow to him. This is the month you take back your strength. This is the month you reclaim your masculinity. This is the month everything changes before it's too late.
Reclaim your masculine power before it's too late. Let me tell you something nobody else will say. Every time you give in to lust, every time you release for pleasure alone, you are draining the very essence of what makes you a man. Your energy, your drive, your ambition, your fire. Sexual energy is creative energy. It's the same force a man uses to build empires, invent the future, and conquer the world. But today, this energy is wasted on pixels, on imagination, on illusions that disappear the moment you close your laptop. The world wants you harmless, dulled, distracted, pacified. Because a man without discipline is controlled by everything around him. He is pulled by his cravings. He reacts instead of leads. He chases instead of attracts. But the moment you harness your sexual energy, even just for 30 days, you transform. Not gradually, not subtly, but violently. Your voice deepens. Your presence becomes heavier. Your eyes lock into people with purpose. You begin to feel the old power you forgot you had. Testosterone rises. Confidence returns. Your spirit feels alive again. People around you can sense something changed, even if they can't explain it. Women especially. They feel it immediately. Because a man who keeps his energy inside carries tension, mystery, strength. There's a magnetic pull you develop when you stop chasing pleasure outside of yourself. Women look at you longer. They wonder why you feel different. They can't help it, it's biological. A man with self-control becomes dangerously attractive. And here's the twist. The more in control of your desire you are, the more a woman's desire for you intensifies. When you stop being the hunter, you become the storm she walks towards. Not out of logic, but instinct. Deep in her subconscious, she recognizes, this man is powerful. He is not begging for me. He is not starving for validation. He is full. That fullness is rare. It is respected. It is desired. Listen, this month isn't about quitting something. It's about remembering something. Remembering who you were before the world tried to tangle your masculinity in shame and addiction. You were once a warrior. You were once a leader. You were once proud of your strength. The question is, do you want that version of you back? Because he's still there, waiting for you to stop hiding behind excuses and step into the man you were always meant to become.
Here's the dark truth that nobody will admit. The world profits when you are weak. Porn companies profit, dating apps profit, pharmaceutical companies profit, even your employer profits. Because a drained man demands nothing, creates nothing, challenges nothing. You have been trained to be predictable, controllable, and addicted. Every time you watch porn, a chemical switch flips inside your brain. Dopamine explodes. Your brain screams, reward, more, now. Over time, the real world cannot compete. Real intimacy feels boring. Real connection feels slow. Your standards warp. Your brain desensitizes. Your masculinity collapses. The system wants you numb, because a numb man never revolts. A numb man never claims his power. That is why NoFap is dangerous. It is a rebellion, a refusal to be controlled, a rejection of weakness. You're not just avoiding a website, you are rejecting manipulation. Carl Jung said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Your sexual desire is that root, raw, dark, untamed. Most men deny it, so it controls them. They drown in their lust, chasing pleasure, never realizing they are the ones being chased by their own shadow. But powerful men embrace the shadow. They control the beast instead of letting it rule their life. And when a man controls his desire, he controls his destiny. This is why your energy feels different when you abstain. You're not cutting off desire, you're concentrating it, like a bow pulled tight, like a volcano sealed shut, like a king sitting in silence, plotting his next conquest. That intensity terrifies weak people, because a man who has conquered himself can conquer anything. Let them mock you. Let them call you crazy. Let them laugh. Because deep down, they know the truth. They could never do what you're doing. Self-mastery scares the world because it reveals how little control most people have. But you are choosing the harder path, the path of discipline, the path of strength, the path of a man who refuses to fold. And the universe responds to men like that. Doors open, opportunities appear,
People respect you before you speak. You start to feel unstoppable. Not because the world changed, but because you did.
Most men believe sexual energy is only for release. They think desire exists just to be spent. But listen carefully. Sexual energy is creative energy. When you waste it, you waste your potential. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, studied the world's most powerful men. His conclusion was shocking. Men who control their sexual energy become unstoppable. Why? Because sexual desire is your most primitive source of drive. It pushes you toward creation, to build, to dominate, to win. When you stop pouring that power into a screen, your brain is forced to use that energy elsewhere. Suddenly, you feel a fire. You train harder, you speak with confidence, you take risks, you move like a man with purpose. That energy has to go somewhere. Carl Jung taught, what you repress controls you. What you channel transforms you. When you channel desire into your body, your muscles respond, your posture changes. You look people directly in the eye, your voice deepens, your presence grows heavier. Women feel that. They sense your internal pressure, your hunger, your restraint. It's magnetic. There is a reason ancient warriors practiced celibacy before battle, a reason monks and mystics protect their sexual energy, a reason kings throughout history spoke about conservation of vitality. Because when a man masters his desire, he becomes a weapon. You begin to see yourself differently, not as a boy chasing comfort, but as a man building a legacy. You become dangerous, not because of violence, but because of discipline. A man who can say no to pleasure can say yes to greatness. And that's when something even stranger happens. Your mind gets sharper. Visions become clearer. Ambition wakes up. Your goals stop being fantasies and become obligations. You feel chosen, marked, destined. As if something inside you whispers, you were meant for more. And deep down, you know it's true. You feel it in your bones, the return of your masculine essence, the return of your sovereignty. You are no longer a slave to impulse. You are the master. And kings attract queens.
Women don't respect a man who can't control himself. Not because she's judging your humanity, but because she feels your energy. A man addicted to instant pleasure has leaky power. He looks away first. He laughs too quickly. He apologizes too much. He needs her, or something, to validate him. But when a man reclaims mastery over his desire, he becomes someone she cannot read. Not desperate, not predictable, not ruled by biology like every other man. He chooses where his energy goes. That, right there, is alluring. Because women do not fall for men who chase pleasure. They fall for men who chase purpose. Look around. There's a generation of men drowning in lust. Scroll after scroll, clip after clip, dopamine, cheap, free, always ready. But every time you cave, you're telling your subconscious, I am not in control of myself. Masculinity begins where self-control begins. Masculinity dies where weakness becomes a habit. NoFap November is more than a trend. It's a revolt, a rebellion against a world that wants you tame, numb, unfocused, and obedient. Because a man who can redirect his sexual drive is a man who becomes stronger, sharper, hungrier for life. Women feel it. Men respect it. You respect yourself. But here's the secret most men never learn. When you stop giving away your sexual energy, it doesn't just disappear, it transforms. Your voice deepens, not physically, but energetically. Your posture straightens. Your eyes hold contact like they mean it. Your presence enters the room before you do. Your mind becomes clear enough to see the path forward. And your confidence? It will scare you at first, because it's real, not borrowed, not artificial. It comes from earning your own respect. And the craziest part? Women will notice the shift long before you say a word. She'll look longer, laugh harder, find excuses to be near you. She won't know why, but her instincts will. A man in control of himself is a man who can lead her. A man who can lead himself can lead his world. NoFap November is not easy. It's not supposed to be. Growth is ugly. Discipline is painful. Transformation hurts before it heals. But the man on the other side, he's everything you once wished you could be. And he's waiting.
There's a reason this transformation is rare. Most men won't do the work. Most will quit at the first urge. Most will surrender their kingdom for 5 seconds of escape. But you are not most men. You're here because you've already felt the truth. There is a war happening inside you every day. Your higher self, the king, calling you toward greatness. And your weaker self, the addict, whispering for one more hit. One more video. One more night defeated. One more morning filled with guilt. The king wants discipline, progress, mission. The addict wants comfort, ease, pleasure now. NoFap is choosing the king every single day. Let's make something clear. Urges are not your enemy. They are your greatest weapon misfired. Sexual energy is the drive behind all creation. Art, business, strength, domination, legacy. When misused, it destroys you. When directed, it builds empires. You feel those urges rising? Good. That means you have fuel. The goal isn't to erase desire. The goal is to master it. Like fire. In a fireplace, it warms the entire home. Left uncontrolled, it burns the house to ashes. You are the fire. You decide what you become. So here's your ritual. When the urge hits, do not run, do not hide, do not panic. Breathe. Feel the intensity. Stand with it, unbroken. Say to yourself, "This is my power returning." You take that energy and channel it. Push-ups until failure, cold shower, deep work, a long walk, lift something heavy, write your goals, build your body, sharpen your mind. Convert desire into progress. Turn lust into dominance. Every time you win, a new piece of your masculinity locks into place. Every time you resist, you evolve into a man women chase, without trying. This month, you will feel stronger, you will become sharper, you will unlock a level of masculine presence that others cannot ignore. But remember, this is not a game, this is not a meme, this is a rite of passage. The future version of you, the one with power in his voice and fire in his eyes, he's watching, he's waiting, and he's whispering, "Do not let me down."
There will come a night when you feel like you're losing the battle, a night when your mind tries to convince you, just once, no one will know, it doesn't matter. That night is the threshold. Every king, every warrior, every leader in history has faced this same moment. The moment he decides who he truly is. You will stand in front of the mirror, and your reflection will ask you questions that cut deep. Are you a prisoner of your impulses? Are you a man of your word? Are you powerful only when life is easy, or powerful even when no one is watching? Because here's the truth. NoFap doesn't build your body first. It builds your identity. You're breaking a pattern that has controlled men for generations. The pattern of instant pleasure. The pattern of wasted potential. The pattern of a man who is alive but not awake. Not you. Not anymore. You will notice changes others can't explain. Her eyes lingering longer than before. People suddenly listening when you speak. Your presence becoming louder even in silence. A quiet confidence. A deeper voice. A stronger spine. That's not magic. That's your spirit taking the wheel. You are no longer leaking the power that was meant to build your empire. You are storing it, refining it, owning it. You are becoming dangerous in the most beautiful way. So here is your war cry. If you fall, you rise again. If you slip, you return stronger. If you lose a day, you do not lose the mission. This is not about perfection. This is about domination. A man is not measured by the battles he avoids, but by the battles he refuses to quit. You are reclaiming your mind. You are mastering your desires. You are commanding your destiny. 1 month from now, you'll look back at this version of yourself, the man who chose strength over surrender, and you will feel proud. 1 year from now, you won't even recognize him. Your eyes will carry a story, a man who met himself in combat and won. This is your ascension, your rebirth, your initiation into the masculine elite. Own your hunger, master your fire, become the man she can't forget and the man you can finally respect. NoFap November isn't the challenge, it's the doorway. Walk through it. Welcome to your new life, King.